Deniz, you are from Turkey.
Yes.
You are a blogger, a feminist, a suffragist, a human rights activist in
Yes.
Turkey. How can you describe the human rights situation in Turkey in several words?
Yeah. It's a very difficult question to answer, really. Human rights condition in Turkey are in trouble because after the attempt of that we experienced in 15th of July, and Amnesty organization had a report about the human rights in Turkey. It was very terrible, about torturing the prisoners, torturing the other criminals in this way. And also so many NGOs are trying to strengthen the human rights in Turkey, but it's a very long time to struggle, very long time. Conditions, human rights conditions. I don't want to call it as terrible, but maybe more sensitive. It's bad condition. Human rights condition has a the human rights condition are in a bad situation right now in Turkey.
Do you know how can you change this situation in the society?
Well, if we are talking about the change of conscious of patriarchy, like I said before, maybe it takes centuries in this kind of a society, because Turkey has a patriarchal society, and in the case of domestic violence, really, the rates are so high in Turkey. So many stories, so many domestic violence experiences I heard from women. How can we change this situation? I don't want to say in an elitist way that we can change this situation with education. Yes, education is very important, but the collective education, how can we manage it? Especially in this case, politicians and journalists, doxazophers, and the other important people in the society has major role, especially politicians and journalists and researchers, also academics in that way, because you're creating a social reality, and if you legitimize the violence against women as a man discourse, you cannot change anything. And you have to create a social reality that men and women are equal human beings, first of all. And in the government level, we face so many masculine discourses day by day, like women are half women if they don't have any child, or if they cannot manage two parts of their life as business lives and the domestic lives. This kind of discourses and determine the duties of the women. So the change has to begin in the conscious, begin in the discourse, begin in the words. But if you create the words in a masculine, in a patriarchal way, you cannot change anything. So
I guess that you can say that men also suffer from patriarchal society, yeah?
Yeah.
In what ways? Can you tell some words about it?
Yes, of course. Now I'm writing my thesis on masculinity, hegemonic masculinity in Ankara nightclub culture, and I'm interviewing with the men who are identify themselves as hegemonic masculine men. Masculinity in general in Turkey, in culture of Turkey, begins in the very early age with circumcision ceremonies. Collective ceremony that you congratulate the little boy's masculinity with circumcision. It's a painful operation, you know. When you are a little boy, you can be so afraid of being operated. But the all society are congratulate the little boy's masculinity. And the other step, teenage boys teenage boys are taught by their fathers or their older brothers or the other men from their family as to be real man. What is real man is to be powerful with their body strength. They have to be body strength. They have to body strength. They have to be powerful. They have to be aggressive. They have to be sportsmen or something. And they have to be heterosexual. And they have to have sexual intercourse with a woman. And then they forced to go to military service. Military service in Turkey in general is one of the most cruel practice of masculinity. I had also interviewed some men who had still post-trauma syndrome, suffering from post-trauma syndrome, and they also shared their experiences in their military service, and very painful. I saw that as a researcher, the experience of military service of men in Turkey are completely painful. And after that, because they have to protect the motherland. Motherland is the honor, and they are the soldiers of that protecting the honor of the mother. And so they have so much responsibility, and sometimes, in general, they cannot afford to cope with them. And after military service, society forced them, because of their men, they have to have a job, and they have to feed whole family. They have to earn money, because society wants their powerful identity. They have to prove this. So after job, and there is another case, is marriage. They have to marry. They have to have a heterosexual marriage with a woman. And after marriage, they have to be father that protect his family, protect the honor of his family, protect the honor of his wife and children. And masculinity in general is learned by man step by step. It's not a fate when they born. They don't born as a man. They learn to be a man in the periods of like this. In Turkey in general, hegemonic masculinity is construct the way that I told you.
But, you are talking about protection. They must protect and etc. Who is the enemy of Turkey?
Yeah, very good question. Who is the enemy? Enemy is the other. Enemy is the other. Yeah, I'm so talking about the protection. The protection begins, first of all, in the military, because you created a image of an enemy. There is a, how can I say, there is a dream of enemy. And also in the identity case, you're constructing your identity with the term of other, with the term of enemy. And in protection case, military service is very cruel, like I said, and they created a dream of enemy. And they are the military service wants men to be so strong and so powerful to protect the motherland against the enemy. Also, in the family life, in the domestic life, every other is a threat. And man, also, if a father has daughters, he has to protect his daughters from the other man, because the other is always a threat for everyone. And also his wife's honor is a very, very important case. The other, the protection is constructed by the threat of the other in general.
Do you think that Turkey is a country of just Turks, Turkish people?
No, I don't believe this. Turkey is a country of so many cultures. Turkey is a country of so many ethnic origin people. Turkey is a nation state. It is defined as a nation state. Also, we has this definition in our constitution. In the 1920s, before in the process of the establishment of the republic, Turkish Republic, there had to be a modernized society, and Atatürk is the one man who tried to modernize a nation state, a modern nation state. So again, I want to talk about the identity as a leader. He created an identity which is composed of Turkish nation with Sunni Islam. And we were Ottoman Empire until the establishment of the Turkish Republic, and so many cultures and so many ethnic origins coexisted together in the Anatolian region. But after Republic of Turkey, establishment of Republic of Turkey, Turkey is identified as a nation state, a pure nation, Turkish and Islam. So the other ethnic origins, minorities, are forced to assimilate it for a while. And now we have still some same problems that ethnic origin groups want their independency and they want their own education in their own mother tongue, and also accumulate their cultures with their own rituals. Sometimes so many contradictions emerge in Turkey in this case. But I don't believe that Turkey is only for Turks. No. Turkey is for everyone who lives in Turkey, who lives in this Anatolian land, And my point of view, I don't believe there must be a pure nation. Why not there is an intercultural region? Why not? So colorful, so various, so contradiction, they can find the harmony in each other. Why not?
Turkey is a Kurdish state as well, yeah?
Kurdish state as well, legally. We cannot say that there's a state with law, with constitution as Kurdish. But majority of Turks, almost same with the majority of Kurdish people also. There is no state still already. There is no any Kurdish state. which is established. But some of the Kurdish people also say that we are Kurdish, but our motherland is Turkey. So it's a hard question, you know. I don't want to be scientific, because in science, in political science, if there is no legal state, there is nothing. I don't want to say some kind of thing right now, but there is no state right now. There is a state, yes. There is a not state. Further, there is a homeland. Homeland is, I think, more sympathetic. If a collective group and majority also wants their independency, wants their own identity, own nation identity, why not? But it has to take a long time, because you have to convince the other people. You have to convince the Turkish people and the Kurdish people also. I don't against independency, but you has to convince the people. You has to solve so many problems in the society in general, because there are so many segregation, so many conflicts, so many contradictions in this point of view, in this point of independency view.
Thank you so much.